Finally over, chat. The tyranny of Pride Month is finally over, and we can return to our regularly scheduled broadcasting and programming. Okay, this is a weird one. I was planning to do this over the weekend. I hinted that I was going to do a little Keffals updates, a special update only for the glorious Gumroad supporters. But then I decided, you know what? If I'm going to do an update, I might as well just do a whole retelling of the Keffals saga, since it's been chopped up and diced up and scattered over a bunch of different streams since March. And then I thought, you know what? If I'm going to do all that, I might as well put in the extra effort and assemble together a Keffals-specific stream. So I did have a little bit of cloak and dagger. I didn't tell anyone what the stream was about until just now. Because the last time I decided to make fun of one of God's chosen on social media, which was Jonathan Yaniv. My Yaniv stream got taken down before it even started because Yaniv put in like a copyright complaint over the thumbnail, which was completely fallacious. So I wanted to avoid that. And I would like to start the stream before it goes down. I probably will eat a strike for this, but whatever. I have decided in my infinite wisdom to go ahead and set up 4 streams. So there is an abundance of choice at watch.mati.live, watch.mati.live. And right now that leads you to a page that has a link to a post.tv PeerTube instance, a VK, which is Russian Facebook live stream, which is also up, and Odysee as well, in case you want to watch it on Odysee and enjoy the buffering. All 4 of these work. I have tested them. I think the audio is coming in fine. The picture looks fine on all of them. I'm very happy because I didn't know what to expect. And now that everyone's kind of getting settled in, I'm gonna take it from the top. There has been some updates, and I announced the stream 2 days ago. I've been planning it since at least Friday. And just yesterday, in the last 24 hours, usually it's the other way around. Usually I do my stream and then something happens the same fucking day within an hour of me ending the stream. A huge update happens. But this time, fate has smiled upon me, and I actually get my update before I do my stream. So we're just going to take it from the top and dive right in. Now, many of you will not know who Keffals is, and that's a great thing. If you don't know who Keffals is, you're very blessed. You don't spend any time on Twitter, and you probably don't read the Kiwi Farms that much, and that means that you're on a blessed path to happiness and enlightenment. But during this dark moment of your weekly cycle of listening to my fucking rambling for an hour to 2 hours, you will be caught right up on who this person is and why they are of at least some interest to me in particular. Now, I should note that Keffals has said that let me get rid of this. This, by the way, is fan art. This is like pixel fan art, and it contains all their memes. And I have to say, it is probably some of the most unflattering fan art I've ever seen. You just have, like, Keffals looks fat in this. It has, like, the grimace. It has the AGP smirk that a lot of Troons have. The artist, in their infinite wisdom, decided to give them male pattern baldness. And then you have, like, I don't know, they just look like like the guy from the Addams Family, just kind of grinning maliciously at you. Then you have that black, soulless, undulating demon on the bottom left that is just sitting there, staring right into your fucking soul, like a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic, and it's just gonna jump at you through the fucking screen. I don't know. He opens his streams with this shit, and I just find it so unsettling. Like, just the there's so many uncanny aspects to it. So I'm gonna get rid of this finally. And I'm going to put up the actual content for the stream. Now, I was going to lead in with this, and I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to steal their creepy-ass intro thing. Keffals says, freedom of speech is not freedom from people who do not like what you have to say. Silencing dissent in the name of free speech is unironically more authoritarian than anything that currently exists. This tweet was deleted because I guess they changed their mind on that. But Keffals, if there's any more of the free speech egalitarian in you, don't strike down my stream. I like my channel. Though I'll save it because that's a weird hang up that gets brought up, and that's not appropriate at this time. For this though, let us just get right into the Firefox. I want to show you Keffals, as some people no longer with us may remember him. This is Lucas with his father, and this was Lucas as a teenager, and this is Keffals, Clara Sorrenti today.
You know that Che Guevara was a murderer? Did you know that suck my inverted penis? How about that? Did you know that one?
I just love the way that they just sit there after that awful delivery and they just smirk at the camera like, yeah, nailed it. Clearly, Keffals is a political genius with insightful commentary that we all should be listening to. How did this young boy become this maturing young adult to this political maverick racing against the currents of political mainstream? Well, the answer, I believe, is quite simple. The answer A is a unhealthy relationship with his mother, and like most people who have an unhealthy relationship with their mother, Keffals does not really talk about his mom too much. He likes his dad a lot, and I'll explain why. But in this 2008 Facebook post, his mom just posted a picture of him and says Lucas, and then 7 years ago, which was 7 years later at the time, so right in between today and when this was made, Clara Sorrenti replies, "No, I'm not," and gets a single like. So there is some weird hostility there. The second ingredient to how you go from Lucas to Keffals is a mature adult grooming them. In this tweet, Keffals says, a recent study came out that says trigger warnings do not help trauma victims and may actually even harm them. As a survivor of sexual assault and a childhood grooming victim, I always thought trigger warnings were extremely empathizing, so I'm just not going to use them again. So completely on the table, Keffals was groomed, but what that means is left up to interpretation because there is some ambiguity, but I'll get into that in the future. The third ingredient to this is a father who enables this. This is before bottom surgery, and this is his dad, who I assume in this relationship between his mom and his father, his mom wore the pants. Keffals does not have a good relationship with his mother, and that has manifested in his mannerisms, which he shows every single day today, and then his father just allowed it. Because I guess what's the alternative? Your kid's like a weirdo who spends all his time in his incel dungeon talking to groomers on the internet. Your options are either A, accept it and support it for what it is, or B, seethe and dilate. Because there's no real middle ground there. Once you've lost your kid to the Discord groomers, you don't really have much of a choice. So, this is completely by accident, by the way. I did not know this until I looked at the clock like an hour ago. But one of the earliest presents of Keffals that we can find on the internet is CanadianTeagirl.com. If you don't know, today is July 1st. And if you don't know what that means, it's Canada Day. between Keffals and Pete's and Yaniv, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Canada, but they're really giving America a run for its money with deranged sex pests, and they don't have the population to excuse it. So here is Sky, which is their porn star name. This was posted literally right after he turned 18. It says here on their Canadian T-Girl description profile thing, Sky is a brand new T-Girl brought to us from the southwestern parts of the province of Ontario. Sky is a ripe 18-year-old top and loves to fuck pussy. You heard it right. Sky takes a preference to a nice wet vagina over a rock-hard cock any day. She is a bright, articulate, albeit shy girl. Yeah, bright and articulate. Motherfucker, have you ever listened to this weirdo streams? Do I have to? Let me replay this. This is what they're just. This porn site's fucking lying to me. Listen to this shit.
Did you know that suck my inverted penis? How about that? Did you know that one?
That is not bright and articulate. I'm being sold a lie already here. I thought she had a cute girl next door feel to her, and to be honest, I don't think I'd be able to tell she's a T-girl. Sky is a rocker punk chick, and this was evident by the attire she arrived in. She is a friendly and very nice. Sky is going to Thailand for her sexual reassignment surgery this coming January 2013. This is the only place on the web to see Sky. Sky is not in the adult industry and will not be pursuing further work. Ho ho ho! Don't spoil it, CanadianTgirl.com. So I have seen, unfortunately, I have seen Keffals both naked before and after a sexual reassignment surgery. They did, I fully believe that this website paid for their sexual reassignment surgery. So, I don't know how to address them for the purpose of this stream. I'll just keep calling them Keffals. Keffals goes to these people and says, I want to cut my dick off. Will you facilitate this? And they'll say, sure. We'll do a before and after thing because that's assuredly somebody's fetish that there's not much porn of. So you'll do a before shoot and then you'll do an after shoot after you get the surgery. And that's exactly what happens. I obviously can't show it. If you're interested in seeing a T-girl get pounded... you can go to Canadian T-Girl. Don't go to my website. I don't want you. So this is Keffals immediately after the surgery in Thailand. That woman has seen some shit in her life. And the really funny thing about this, by the way, is that his dad took it. Keffals' father flew out to Thailand with the mother. And they took this picture. Could you even imagine the depths of misery that you must sink into as a father to fly to Thailand to see your only son, your only child, have his penis removed so that he can fulfill his dream of becoming a woman? I'm sure like that's just the stuff of nightmares. It kind of makes me depressed just thinking about it. Keffals reminisced on his supportive father in June 2021 because he died in July, I think. Happy Father's Day to my dad, who I lost to kidney cancer 3 years ago. He used to march in pride parades with me and took me to Thailand for gender-confirming surgery. I love and miss you, Dad. I owe you my life. And in this, from now on, whenever anyone suggests that trans issues are white or Western centric, I'm going to show them this photo of me in a Thai hospital that specializes in transgender healthcare with a trans man and his girlfriend from Japan and a trans woman from Brazil. Take a look at that dress, because that dress is very important, because here is the Canadian T-Girl photo shoot, and it's the same exact dress. So we can confirm beyond any reasonable doubt that this porn star is Keffals, and of course they've confirmed it anyways, but it's worth pointing out. And not only did dear old dad support Keffals through this transition, not only did they fly out to Thailand to be there with Keffals after they got bottom surgery, as Keffals says here, when my dad was diagnosed with terminal cancer, he decided to dip into his life savings to pay for gender reaffirming surgeries for me. He told me, when I die, I will have no use for money. I love you, and if I could help you set up a better life before I die, I will be happy. So not realizing that he didn't have much of a retirement to save up for, he dipped into his retirement account and personally funded the castration of his only son. And Keffals says in reply to this a couple months later, if you ever think people don't change, my dad was a lifelong conservative until I came out as trans because they didn't support my rights and spent the rest of his life only supporting political parties that had a pro-trans position until his death. I've been thinking about him a lot lately. My whole family has. I'm really happy that with everyone's support, we were able to raise $4,000 for the hospital. He was diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma at the anniversary of his passing. Here's a thread. So, I don't know. His dad seems very nice, but maybe a little bit too nice. Eventually, at some point, when your child pursues insane shit, you have to take a step back and say, my son, I love you very much and I support your endeavors, but cutting off your dick is probably one step too far, one bridge too far. So that is their porn career. Now, after their porn career, there is a gap in the Keffals extended universe. Keffals gets their bottom surgery in 2013, I believe. It was 2013 or 2014 where his father dies. And then we don't hear much from Keffals until 2018, where they become a somewhat prominent figure of the Canadian Communist Party, which is the successor for the Canadian Soviet Party, which was a pro-Soviet Union party before the dissolution of the USSR. Clara Sorrenti, as it says here, there's a picture of Keffals on the Key Wiki, which is strange, with the communist flag in the background. It's like a gear and grain. And they were a part of it at least since 2018, but probably before. They were participating in parades and stuff. Here's them in a march with the trans flag in 2019. Bunch of what's really funny to me about like communists in the current day, and I know this is like a political tangent, but like I've been to a country called Pridnestrovia, which is a breakaway state located directly between Moldova and Ukraine, which is not recognized by the rest of the world. They are still a communist. They're one of the few communist countries left in the world, and the only part of the USSR, from what I understand, that is still communist. And they still have the sickle and hammer in their flag. When I was in Pridnestrovia, that was by far the straightest and whitest place I have ever been in my entire life. So the weird clash between Soviet idolatry and modern day communists is like the weirdest thing to me, because it's like I know for a fact that if you went to Pridnestrovia, if you went to Soviet Russia, you would be put in a fucking camp because you are degenerate and you threaten the peace and welfare of the working man. Like the great thing about Keffals, by the way, is that despite being a member of the Communist Party, which is something that well, he's no longer a member of the Communist Party. I'll get to that. He shares with Pete, who is also a Canadian troon. And the entire motivation here seems to be that they don't want to work. And I'll read this out of order, but Keffel says here, it finally happened. I was removed from long-term disability for making too much money from streaming on Twitch. For the first time in my adult life, I am not living in poverty, and I owe it to my community that supported me enough to get to where I am today. Thank you all. I haven't really talked to anyone about the disabilities I struggle with because of the stigma around it, but I think tomorrow on stream I'm going to open up about it. They have never worked. This person saying to the Arbeiter, the proletariat, to raise their wrench and their arms and their sickles against the capitalist pigs has never worked a day in their fucking life, and that always gets to me, because it's like just imagine you're in a commune with Keffals, and it's like, okay, I've been conscripted to help with the computer so that we can always get a message from our intranet from the Supreme Soviet. You work with the cows. You scrape cow shit off the floor. And then you have Keffals, who does literally fucking nothing, who just wants to sit and talk to the kids all day for some reason, even though they're not the teacher. And you're just like, okay, you got to go. You either have to work or you have to get the fuck out. But they did resign from the Canadian Communist Party, and the reasons that they give for it are pretty vague. The official line that Keffals gives, and this is a recurring trend in what they do, is that Keffals says that the Communist Party of Canada does not have an acceptable line on the Indigenous peoples of Canada. And if you don't know, in modern day liberal politics in Canada, the question of if Canada is stolen land from the natives who live, the fucking Eskimos and shit, and the turtle people who live around the Great Lakes. The question is this stolen land? Is this blood money? Do we all live on the bones of 1,000 Native Americans and all this shit? And they call them Indigenous peoples, and it's a big deal. And that's the official reason that Keffals gives for leaving the Communist Party. But the issue with that is that on Twitter, as archived by this Transbian K-pop stan, which is now deleted. They point out these tweets are only 2 days apart. The first stating the CPC is essentially pro-trans just after she publicly announced she was going to resign from the party, and the second implying the CPC is transphobic just after she officially resigned. There's a snake's blatant opportunism, and the line is basically that. So they flip-flopped on their perspectives, and the comments for this are actually pretty fucking brutal. And they just all say the same thing, that Keffals is opportunistic, and this is a level of self-promotion. You got involved in our party. We let you into our rallies. We let you run for office in a district in Ontario. And now that you've been a member of the party for 2 years, you're going to break away and do your own thing. The question, chat, is, what does break away and do your own thing mean? Well, we have a person who, by their own admission, has never worked before. So, but T-Girl, Canadian T-Girl said that they will not be pursuing further work. So it is quite a surprise, of course, that Keffals returns to the fray as Queen Clara, a financial dominatrix. And if you don't know what findom is, findom was like a meme, like 8 years ago on Tumblr, where you had these vapid bitches saying like, you don't deserve me. You will empty your bank account and buy me all the things on my Amazon wish list that I want, and then maybe I'll let you suck my toes. And for whatever reason, Keffals thinks like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. So they enter into this. This is the Queen Clara Dom, professional T-girl dominatrix. Give me tribute, bit.ly link. Spoil me, Amazon hashtag. Only follow for 18 plus from Canada. So they really thought, I'm going to quit the Communist Party and I'm going to become a professional T-girl financial dominatrix. And I have in my possession 3 videos that Keffals has done as Queen Clara. I have never watched them, chat. I have no idea what any of them are about. I've intentionally avoided reading anything about them. And I'm going to play the audio of them. Of all 3. They're about 3 to 4 minutes long. I'll either play them till completion or till I cannot physically fucking stand it anymore. And we will enjoy this together. So this is Findom induction number 1. Let's take a listen. And let me make sure this is not showing up on my screen. Okay, it is not. So we're now listening to the Keffals.
What's up, my subjects?
Oh, jeez.
It's me, Queen Clara, the one that you live to serve. I'm here today on
It's so quiet. Okay, hold up.
Special occasion, because anytime you see my face, it is a special occasion.
Let me take a second. I'll stop it there because I'm sure the cringe is already overwhelming for the average person. 40 people have already clicked off the stream. Keffals is in a room on a nice big comfy looking armchair, actually a nice big lazy boy, and in the background is a white wall. Keffals is looking down at the camera, so the camera is like positioned on the floor, leaned upwards at a 45-degree angle, and Keffals is sitting there. His hair is dyed a kind of light black, kind of like dark gray, kind of gunmetal color, and they're in a velvet corset. They're now, because they're trans, even though they started HRT early, the easiest tell for a trans, barring anything else, is the boobs. A woman's boobs and a man's boobs look very, very different. Even with cosmetic surgery, they look very different. Keffals' boobs point outwards like a man's does, and they're sitting there like two blobs of mayo in this corset that he doesn't really fit into all that well. Now, but I will continue this one for at least another 30 seconds.
You only live to serve me. Do you understand?
Oh my god.
You.
It's Ralph. Do y'all understand? Y'all live to serve me, pay pigs, pay up. It's the exact same fucking thing. It's crazy. All these people fit into the same goddamn category.
Only live to serve me. I am the Alpha and Omega. I am a fucking goddess.
I see you also play Fallout 3. Do you think he's ad-libbing this, or do you think it's scripted? Which is worse?
I deserve every last fucking morsel from you.
I just imagine that this is what he thinks to himself when he starts up his stream and all his like teenage boy like trans kid Twitch watchers are watching. He's like, yeah, I deserve everything that you have. Okay, this one is, I'll skip ahead. There's 3 minutes left of that. Fuck that. This is Femdom Induction 2, Foot Pig Seduction.
What's up, my subjects?
The screen's black.
It's nice to see you again.
I'm grateful for this. I don't know if it's an error,
I'm glad
though.
to know that you came back for another round. Because that's the kind of pathetic
Wait, hold up.
that you are.
Oh, I think I'm fucking this up. Let me try a different one. I don't know what my options are here to get. I need to watch Femdom Induction 2 Foot Pig Seduction. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I have fixed the video and I am looking at Keffals' feet, which are very Fred Flintstone-y. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I've seen women's feet and they're like narrower and arched. It looks like Keffals has been obese and his arches are like flattened.
I'm glad to know that you came back for another round. Because that's the kind of pathetic that you are. You're so pathetic you can't get enough of me. And so I'm here for you. You stupid piece of shit. This is scripted.
He's so scared. You know what? I can show this. I'm going to show this. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right now. Because it's safe for work. Check it out. Check out those toes, chat. This motherfucker thought that people were going to pay for this and that he would make like $1 million being like a findom expert. He actually thought he was going to make it big on this findom thing. Just that's why you're a communist, Keffals. You don't have good financial decisions. Okay, this one's called Quarantine Queen's Executrix Threats. That sounds wonderful. Oh, you guys might be in luck. It looks like VLC is not working. VLC is actually crashing when I try to open this video. You guys are being saved here. Maybe Firefox.
What's up, my subject?
Fuck yeah. Thank you, Firefox. What a Chad. You know what? This is also safe for work. Look, check it. That's what I meant by the mayo. You see how it's like two like plates with like a dollop of mayonnaise in them as opposed to actual like cleavage? You know what I mean?
It's nice to see you here. You know, I've been waiting for you. Do you know what today is?
It's Canada Day.
Today is my birthday. And I'm spending it alone.
I feel so overpowered by this person who's spending their birthday alone. Yeah, you're definitely like the leader.
This kind of isolation does crazy things to a girl. And there's something I want from you.
Is it money?
Do you see this?
He's holding up a machete in a leather thing.
This is what I want to do to you. I don't know if you understand the picture yet, though.
Is he threatening to kill me?
So let me show you.
He's unstrapping the knife from the thing. I'm afraid to show. I want to show this. Hell, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna show this, and I'm gonna risk it. If there's a random butthole spliced into this,
picture yet? Though.
I'm just gonna get banned, I guess.
So let me show you.
Buffalo Bill.
This.
Hey, it's a kukri.
I want to do to you. I want to fucking kill you. I'm gonna chop you into fucking pieces because that's what you deserve. You deserve to die.
I'm not a crazed gunman, Dad. I'm a professional.
Do you understand me? You deserve to die. And I will kill you. I will take your fucking life right from you. Because you don't deserve it. You only deserve to live when you're serving me. Do you understand?
This is Sendom.
Do you?
What is with that? Do you understand? Do you understand? There is a gene in these people that we can isolate and remove. It's like some kind of autism gene that we can remove from people to devoid the world of gunted felons and shrones. It's a unified asset.
I hope you do.
Okay, this next one, I'll skip this one. Let me pan ahead a bit. Ooh, those crazy eyes. 3 whites. Very nice.
By you. And if you don't understand that, I will fucking chop you into bits.
You know, he also looks like Brianna Wu in this, but when you're like a fat tranny, I guess you look all alike. This one is not safe for work, I know for a fact. Chat, this one is called fartthrone.mp4. And we're just going to take a very brief listen to fartthrone.mp4. And I know it's not safe for work because there's an ass right in the thumbnail. Here we go. Okay.
Been waiting a while for this, you stupid cuck.
I'm looking up at Keffals. They're in lingerie.
What's wrong with you that you want this?
Oh no.
Doesn't matter to me though. Gladly give it.
It's like the point of view of somebody sitting in a toilet. Oh no. I can see they've moved to the side, and now I can see their cellulite through the leather strap. Ew. Butt's getting too close to comfort. Ew.
You like that, you stupid fuck?
Ew.
I bet you do.
A man's ass is in my face.
Fantasizing about this for a long time, haven't you?
Null is lost. I just want to give you people an idea, because this is important. It's important to develop the character of Keffals, because what I'm going to say next is going to make you angry. And I need your anger to be righteous, chat. I'm going to skip ahead. Yeah. You can't get it up. You can't fart. Where's the... Oh, there it is. Gross. Now, chat, now that we've survived the Queen Clara saga, I should show you 2 more things from this real quick. Just tabs. This is a teaser image. Yeah, Flamenco. Okay. Where's Flamenco at to help me out with this? This is Keffals hanging out with that kukri machete thing from before, looking very intimidating. And this is Queen Clara Dom on Twitter saying, I need to ash my cigar. Do me a favor and open your mouth, bitch. This is also like Ralph. What's with the BB cigar? You know? Very strange. Very strange reminiscence here. Now, this career did not go very well because it was reviewed poorly. Craven Moorhead, top reviewer, March 2020, gave a 1-star review to Queen Clara on OnlyFans or whatever the fuck, saying, fake farts. Fake ... farts ... And with this killing blow from Craven Moorhead, the Queen Clara saga was thankfully over forever. So now, what is a Keffals to do? Estranged from their Communist Party over the plight of the indigenous folks of Canada, and not able to succeed as a brap hog, findom, trans, dick girl, not even a dick girl, because they cut it off. And that's the thing that those people want to see. What do? The answer, chat, is to go on Twitch. So here we can see, I looked this up because I was curious, that the last activity on the Queen Clara Twitter account was in March of 2020. And then right after that, they started streaming in June and 2020, and they were gaining followers. They had 1,000 followers by the start of 2021. And then by 2022, they had 10,000 followers, and now they're all the way up to 35,000 followers. So during Keffals' adventure into financial domination, they discovered that the real paypigs were on Twitch all along. And so they switched over to being a full-time Twitch streamer. Now this is also, I could only find Twitter stuff from them starting in 2021. They started getting big on Twitter mid 2021. And their first tweet that I can find archived is defending a VTuber. Keffals says, "Damn, dude, sorry your anime VTuber waifu is a real human being. That's got to be disappointing." This is in reply to Elite Alice 4 saying, "Immensely disappointing." And that is the Lolicon Shark and their Jewish voice actor, who that is a reply to. So, June, just to give you a timeline, the Queen Clara stuff happened early 2020. They started streaming throughout 2020. They started picking up traction on Twitch in 2021, which is important because around this time you can see that they really start getting big on Twitch, and they pick up heavily in 2022 after their Twitter account gets more traction. So now we have a bona fide internet celebrity. And what do you think an internet celebrity like Keffals would be interested in doing? Do you think they want money? Well, money is nice, but what you really, really want when you are a famous T-girl Twitch streamer is a Catboy Ranch. And thus begins the actual drama with Keffals. This was kind of swept up under the rug and had to be pieced together by expert archaeologists on the Kiwi farms. This Discord server was around for months, and it is a openly LGBT friendly server with a very supportive community for either playing games or just talking with friends. Please join and meet new people and talk with your friends alike. So heavy emphasis on, are you alone? Are you a catboy? Come join the Catboy Ranch and be not alone with us. Keffals has confirmed that they ran this Twitter account and this Discord. And what kind of wholesome, friendly things did they get up to at the Catboy Ranch? They gave collars to their members. This is at Femboy Finance, property of Catboy Ranch. So I guess the Queen Clara saga never really ended, and the dominatrix aspect carried over to their Catboy Ranch saga, where teen boys who were lost and confused would end up literally collared by a maniac living in Ontario and wielding a kukri at their haters. At its peak, and if this is safe enough for fucking Discord, I'm assuming that it's safe for me to show on stream. This is the actual banner that Keffals picked out for it. There's no nudity there, but that's his artistic choice for this. Catboy Ranch on Twitter says, "This Discord isn't even 3 weeks old, but you all helped us reach 30 boosts. Thank you so much for supporting the Catboy Ranch community." And this is about 1,000 members active on Keffals Catboy Ranch. Here's another tweet put out by the Catboy Ranch. "Oops, I accidentally got one of my catboys pregnant." To which Skeleton Stan asks in reply, "Don't you let minors onto your Discord server?" Uh-oh, chat. It's not looking so good. You can't have young minor age boys wearing your fucking collars and posting impreg. That's not a good look. Dat Gamer joins the Catboy Ranch, and then the screenshot asks, "I am losing my faith in humanity." To which Femboy Hiking Flag of Palestine replies, "Why would we bar minors from the server on the off chance that they will be groomed? LOL. Don't you think that there are better ways to fix the issues of grooming and pedophilia on the lowercase I internet than just barring children from using the lowercase I internet?" Dat Gamer says it's literally sexually suggestive, and Femboy Hiking says, "How? If they've been talking about having sex with men, you can show me where, but you're..." Please point me in the direction. "But your sexuality is part of you. There's nothing wrong with it. You're kind of the one introducing the adult-oriented element. It's kind of weird." I am so fucking sick of that line. It's the exact same line that Digibro and Digibro's girlfriend, who is now Ralph's fiance, said in defense of Lolicon. "This is just a picture of a child. It's just sitting there. You're the one that's making it sexual. What's wrong with your mind?" It's like this. They all say the exact same fucking things. All these groomer people. So that's the Catboy Ranch. There's more to it than that, but I will get to that in a second. I want to focus more on Keffals for a moment. Keffals says here in June 16, 2021, This is the reiterating that as a survivor of sexual assault and childhood grooming victim, I always thought trigger warnings were extremely infantilizing. So they say here, I was groomed. And then they explain more on March 30th, 2022. So very recently. This was after the big drama that I mentioned before. Keffals says, I never wanted to have to be this vulnerable, but when I was 13, I was groomed by an older man who convinced me to take photos of myself doing sexual acts. He has been in prison for the last 3 years. This has nothing to do with me being trans. I love myself for who I am. I knew I was trans before that happened, and I knew I was trans after that happened. Using me getting manipulated as a child by a pedophile against me is a sick and proves how much people who hate me see this as a game to win a lowercase I internet points and nothing else. Having to remember this makes me feel sick to my stomach. I do not want to continue talking about this. Having my trauma weaponized against me like this is sociopathic behavior, and I know any reasonable person can see this. And I have to bring this up because they mention this as well in July 2021. When I was 16, a 42-year-old trans woman hooked me up with an endocrinologist and helped me start my medical transition. I am eternally grateful for her help, and I am always going to pass on the love and support she gave me at any opportunity that I can. So Keffals says that he was groomed at the age of 13. So when we look at this in the timeline, this is probably quite literally this Keffals that we're looking at, who was on the computer talking to a person who was making him strip. And then a mere 3 years later, Keffals says in the timeline that he was talking to a 42-year-old male to female who was encouraging him to become a male to female. And then a mere 2 years later, this Keffals is then in a hospital bed in Thailand with no penis, having just filmed pornography of himself to afford the trip and the expense. I wonder if there is any correlation between this. And it's a very common thread that seems to happen all the fucking time, because if you don't remember, there was a very famous instance where someone very famous did something incredibly similar to this.
All right.
It wasn't until yesterday when this old podcast surfaced.
You're misunderstanding what pedophilia means.
With the openly gay Yiannopoulos arguing sexual relationships between 13-year-old boys and men in their 20s could be consensual.
Some of those relationships between younger boys and older men, the sort of coming-of-age relationships, the relationships in which those older men help those young boys to discover who they are.
That Milo Yiannopoulos had ever seen a line he couldn't cross.
So, if you don't remember, that actually isn't his full statement. Milo Yiannopoulos said that a 13-year-old and an older man could have consensual sex because when he was 13, he had an older male that he was in a relationship with, and he does not regret it, and he would actually encourage it. Gay men have an average age of first intercourse at 15, which means that many of them lose their virginity before 15. I firmly believe that gay people, and especially now transsexuals, find people who are 13 who are isolated in their room with an overbearing mother and an impotent father, and they groom them into becoming gay. And you cannot convince me otherwise. And if you want to bitch and complain and say that I'm using their abuse against them, well, too fucking bad, because I guess I am. Here's an example, by the way. Here we have Mayo Moo, aka Femboy Math, saying, I'm a trans immigrant. I can't keep living at home. I get constant derogatory comments just for existing. I can't get a job because of immigration problems. It feels like there's nothing I can do. I'm trapped. I need a GoFundMe, or I made a GoFundMe to finally move out and transition. Any bit helps. I love you. And this is a very young boy. He looks about 15. I think he is 15 in this picture. To which Keffals replies with his gross-ass fucking Twitch emote and a heart saying ratio. And this is his way of putting a spotlight on this person's Twitter GoFundMe thing. And you could say, okay, fine, he's supporting a trans person. Supporting trans youth is his whole thing, and I'll get into that in a second too. But nothing too weird there. I mean, kind of weird, but not that bad, right? Well, here we have a screen cap of something a little bit more incriminating. This is the same person, Femboy Maths, in a skirt and shirt. And I can't get over the fact how much this person looks like Keffals. Like in their early pictures and stuff, like the swarthy complexion and the long hair, it's like this is exactly the same kind of person that Keffals was when he's about this age. And Femboy Mouth says, Joe Biden has been president for 20 minutes and look what he's done to me. Watch out, you're next. And that's obviously a joke. But Catboy Ranch, which as we established was Keffals, says, damn, you ass fat, what's your pronouns? And remember that Femboy Mouth is probably 15 here. Femboy Mouth replies, she, they. Tomboy Botany replies, and this is Commie Dick Pills, saying, that's so cool. Which is such a fucking groomer thing to reply. Haha, you're so mature for your age. Haha, you wear that shirt so well for a 15-year-old boy. Haha. And which Femboy Mouth then replies again, thank you. This is now further along. Catboy Ranch says, tag one friend. If they don't respond in I'm going to say 0.3 milliseconds, they have to wear a maid costume. Pliku, but they are a maid, says at Femboy Mouth, and Femboy Mouth says, oh no, now I have to wear a maid outfit. Also, don't worry about the friends thing. So this is a prime example of how someone on the internet who is on Twitter is solicited by Keffals on Twitter to join their fucking Catboy Ranch so that he can get pictures like this of them in a skirt at the age of 15 and also help them medically transition to be a girl before they are an adult and before they can really evaluate if they want to be a woman or not socially. Now, here's the same person, by the way, 2022. So this is a year later. Or several years later, because I don't know exactly when this happened, but it was before they were 18. Alex Kelly says, just casually admitting to catfishing people into committing sex crimes. And the tweet they're replying to says this, listen, just saying I lied about my age when I was 15. And this is Femboy Philosophy on Twitter saying, listen, I lied about my age when I was 15 on the lowercase I internet because I wanted to sex with people. So that's a pretty high chance that a lot of people are doing the same thing. And this person looks and acts like a 15-year-old. Mayo Moo replies, if you didn't do this shit as a kid, you're sheltered. So he basically admits that before he was 18, around the age of 15, he was sending sexually explicit photos to adults. I wonder what adults he was sending sexually explicit photos to. Could it be Keffals? I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that based on what evidence is available to me, yes, that is probably who they were sending sexually explicit photos to. In fact, if you go to their current Discord, because they say now that this is ancient history, the Catboy Ranch doesn't exist anymore, they closed it, there is still a resident Catboy role on their Discord, and I can only assume that that role gives you access to some sort of weird fucking thing. And by the way, just to completely prove it, less than 2 weeks till my 18th birthday, I'm going to go wild, get a social card and shit, and take out alone, go to jury duty. The world is mine. This is January 2022, and this post about everything before January was before they were 18, and probably much younger. So that's the Catboy Ranch, and that's one person who Keffals directly communicated with and got HRT to, and who says that they were sending nude pictures of themselves before they were 18. Just food for thought. Now, let's see. So we have a trend of a weak father, an overbearing mother, early exposure to sex through an adult, and those are the ingredients that make a troon, essentially, in my opinion. However, actually, I'll take that back. It's not that alone doesn't make a troon. It is what makes an incel, probably. And when you're an incel, you have one of two ways of going. You can either become like Nick Fuentes, or you can become like Keffals. And I say that because there is no greater misogynist I can think of, Nick Fuentes included, than Keffals. And I want to show this off. So here we have what if you showed any normal person today, do you think this person is an incel? They'd probably say, yeah, probably. Here are some choice tweets from Keffals. Keffals, being a trans woman isn't about trying to imitate women. It's about trying to be better than women. Stay jealous that I have a pussy that allows people to slam their dick against my prostate. I'm literally at God tier levels of base. Before I transitioned, women got mad at me for being misogynistic. Now women think me being misogynistic is funny. Girls even flirt with me when I'm being misogynistic. Being trans rules. How do I get turf Twitter to see that this would be really funny? Sora replies, I'm It's like shooting a hornet's nest with a BB gun. All you had to do was find any turf post and say, I'm a woman. What are you going to do about it? And the dog pile ensues. To which Keffel replies, true, but I'm not a woman. I'm a man with D cups and an inside-out dick vagina, and it means I'm better than women because I still have a pussy, except I'm actually funny. Which, if Nick Fuentes tuned out, he would say something exactly like that. I'm basically better than a woman, and I'm funny. That would be trans Fuentes' go-to line anytime anyone talked to him. Keffel says misogyny is actually a worse issue for me. Sorry, let me take that again. Misogyny is actually a worse issue for me than it is for cis women because my womanhood is read as deceptive by a lot of the same men that sexually harass me. So the real victim of misogyny is Keffel. People who are bullies on Twitter are mad that they never had a hot emo GF in high school and never got over it, so they had to take their anger out on strangers on the lowercase I internet. Who does that sound like? How about this person on Canadian T-Girls who's trying to look like a rocker punk chick? You know how many girls try to do that style of like the cut bangs and the short haircut with the color stripes and shit? I wonder who he had a crush on, what type of girl he had a crush on in high school that would provoke such thoughtful commentary 10 years later. Oh, this is great. This is a wonderful. This really makes me like trans people and think that they belong in our society. Showing my disdain for women by taking a smelly, messy shit in the women's bathroom. Nothing says like, yeah, I only want to use the bathroom, guys. I just want to use the right bathroom more than, yeah, I get my revenge on women by taking messy shits in their bathrooms and making them smell it. What a wonderful thing to think about. Real women have a womb, quote unquote. So are you saying your mom became a man after I destroyed hers? This is a trend. Keffals is sexually violent towards moms, and I know that at least Jace Connors would not put up with that because he respected all moms on the internet. Keffals just wants to rape them and destroy their wombs. This is several tweets. This guy tweets at least several times a month, every month, just saying, I'm going to fuck your mom and destroy her womb over and over again. Seems a lot of anger at that organ in particular. Now that I think about it, you know, after I did all my notes, now that I sit here thinking about it, lots of anger towards the womb in particular. I wonder why, chat. Very mysterious. Stupid girl TM, lol, stupid girl, anime avatar, definitely a fucking troon. Crazy how them reporting your tweet will never unfuck their mother. To which Keffals replies, they may be reporting me, but they are self-reporting that they are upset I left their mothers gaping. Very eloquent. Remember, this is the eloquent and intelligent T-girl that Canadian T-girls are trying to sell me. Comments on YouTube say, is Keffel straight or lesbian? Mintberry Crunch says, single mom, so who knows? And Billy Eisenhower says, she's a mommy. To which Keffels replies, yes. Yes, I am a mom. I have hundreds of kids. They watch me stream every day and demand I put on the funny fish video. And if you don't know, which you probably don't, because who the fuck would? When Keffel streams, he literally just watches a video of a fish for like an hour at a time to call. If he's like having a SPAC attack, he'll just put on the funny fish video and he'll just like rock back and forth and go funny fish video, and then all the cat boys in the chat will just be like, yay, funny fish video. So if you're wondering what a purified social media experience is, just imagine a man in a dress with 1,000 little boys in dresses watching a fish video while rocking back and forth. That is the future they want for us. Okay. So beyond just being a, you know what, I forgot. Oh, I caught myself. These are from TikTok. When the whole Keffals things were unfolding, he had a TikTok and he deleted the TikTok. And I'd like to share 2 TikToks with you from the Keffals account, which is now deleted. And I archived literally minutes before he purged in their entirety. So this is, you'll never meet another quirky white girl like me who believes in astrology and smokes weed. And it's just Buzz Lightyear, and there's like a bunch of Buzz Lightyears, which is just like, oh. There's lots of white women aren't special. You have to get with a T-girl if you want that special experience. And then this one is just their stupid fucking face. And I'll read the text on their stupid fucking face. Oh, it doesn't work. Can I get this on VLC? No, I cannot. VLC is broken. Wonderful. Okay. Fuck it. Just imagine their stupid fucking face. You've seen it so far, and I'll read the text. You ready? Got an Adderall prescription so I can talk over women louder and interrupt them faster. And it's just literally just that text, and their AGP smirked looking at the camera for 10 seconds. So isn't that funny? Oh, they get Adderall medication because then they can be rude towards women. And women are bad, except T-girls, who are also women, I guess. Which further bolsters my theory that trannies just hate women, and they find the most degrading thing possible to be a woman, and that sexually arouses them to be a woman because women are just so terrible to them. Keffals says in July 2021, normalize MILF Twitch streamers. Having a favorite MILF Twitch streamer is by far the best way to satisfy your disgusting, hidden Freudian urge to fuck your mother and kill your father. Well, here we have a picture of Keffals' mother in bed with him. And here we have a picture of Keffals' father who died 3 months after their bottom surgery. Fuck your mother, kill your father. Dead dad, mother in bed. I wonder, chat, does Keffals have a disgusting Freudian urge to fuck his mother? I read that. Here's another tweet around the same time. In this house, we fuck moms and keep it messy. Here's a nice mom joke. I Hypocrite points out they are large, to be fair. Hands, that is, pointing out that trans people have huge man hands. Keffals replies, I know they are. Your mom was fucking screaming when I was slamming them into her. And this one, which was overlaid with a nice picture of Keffals playing a pink trumpet, saying, I fell off your mom because I was done sexing her. Yeah, your mom is coming to me so I can blow her back out. And that is a continuation of that theme of the funniest thing that he can possibly imagine saying to anyone is, I fucked your mom, which is just bizarre. And now we have the mother of all women that Keffals hates, the TERFs. The mother of all TERFs, the person that Keffals would want to fuck the most, because they are both a woman and also a TERF and also a mother of TERFs. J.K. Rowling says, love to you and all female athletes standing up. Sharon, you're an inspiration. To which this is about the trans athletes competing in sports, which is a big deal. Keffals replies, I've always wanted to ratio J.K. Rowling with a picture of my favorite female athlete, and then there's a picture of a man below that. And this tweet has 24, almost 25,000 likes to J.K. Rowling's measly 19,000. And this is what Keffals is most famous for, I guess, outside of the whole grooming children thing, which I assume they're going to be more famous for in a second, is going on Twitter and just replying to people saying ratio, and then his thousands of bots and or fans will promote his tweets to have higher likes than the tweet he is responding to, and he considers this a mind-boggling win. Keffals replies to J.K. Rowling again, trying to get attention, saying she, and this is J.K. Rowling's tweet saying, me shares a video of experienced psychiatrist who turned whistleblower expressing his deep concern at high numbers of autistic children and children with internalized homophobia presenting at gender clinics. Them, exclusive bigot, go fuck yourself, transphobic bitch. To which Keffals replies, she, J.K. Rowling, had a meltdown on Twitter because I ratioed her, and instead of responding to me, went after a mutual for speaking truth to power. So this is after this. He's upset that Mama TERF did not reply to him directly, which would make his pee-pee hard, but instead bullied some retard that Keffals also knew, because Keffals knows every fucking retard on Twitter, probably. Keffals replies again to J.K. Rowling, trying to get Mama TERF to notice him, saying, J.K. Rowling, come after me instead. I came out as a trans as a child. I've been out as trans for 11 years. You're an old, miserable hag who uses your enormous reach to force trans people back into the closet. When you are gone, you will be remembered as a monster. And then Vaush replies, I think supportively, because Vaush somehow gave birth to Keffals as like a political commentator. I think that's why they started picking up steam. It's because Keffals got involved to Vaush after they were done being a findom and wanted real paypigs. So you can blame him for that as well. Here is a tweet literally begging people to help ratio J.K. Rowling. Please help me ratio J.K. Rowling. It's important. And the tweet that he's replying to is just 3 hearts for some reason. And then finally, in case you're wondering why J.K. Rowling had the audacity to ignore our trans hero and never respond to his senseless baiting on fucking Twitter, it is because J.K. Rowling puts up with actual lunatic British trannies appearing at his fucking or her house, saying, last Friday, my family's address was posted on Twitter by 3 activist actors who took pictures of themselves in front of our house, carefully positioning themselves to ensure that our address was visible. As always, Joe, you turn adversity for yourself into protection for other women. We are blessed that you lived amongst us, enabling those with less power. 3 hearts. Oh, so this is what Keffals wants to ratio, is this tweet where she's basically saying, yeah, I'm being stalked by fucking lunatics in drag. And he's just like, no, you can't say that you're being stalked by lunatics in drag just because they're showing up to your house. Help me ratio him. Now... I don't know why I included this here. Let me read my note. Why did I put this here? Oh, okay. She sees the Dolphin Boy and just thinks he's a harmless weirdo. And I call him Dolphin Boy because he looks exactly like Gerald Broflovsky from South Park. South Park was so ahead of its time on trans shit. It's crazy to watch their old episodes because it was like late 2000s, early 2010s that they were putting out episodes like this. They have now just materialized into our daily reality. There are actual dolphin men walking among us, and it's just bizarre, chat. It's just truly bizarre. And by the way, he has become so desperate for Mama Rowling to actually notice him for once that he goes on and he basically just sexually harasses her, saying, J.K. Rowling is tweeting about the horrors of vaginoplasty, and I want her to see this tweet and know that I like to get railed and I come hard. No regrets. Thumbs up. At J.K. Rowling, you failed to consider that people can slam their penis into my prostate through my pussy, and that surgeon literally surpassed God's own design. We do live in the end times. There's nothing more revelations-y than that kind of tweet. That's pretty fucking abominable. Okay, so that's enough of the J.K. Rowling shit. He has other people to ratio. During this J.K. Rowling fit, he realized that ratioing had a real purpose for him. He knows that Twitter is not a place to have intellectual discussions, which is true. Twitter is not a website where good or meaningful discussions happen. If someone is mean to you, you just reply ratio plus L plus I sex your mother and move on. If anyone gets mad at you for that, it's saying more about them than you. So here are some epic ratios that are in the great grimoire of Keffal ratios. If you like this tweet, or he's replying to Esther saying, nobody actually thinks trans women are women. We are just being respectful. Keffal says, like this tweet if you actually think trans women are women. This has 28.4 thousand likes. And he says, need all hands on deck. I've never attempted a 30K plus ratio. So everybody needs to like this tweet to prove that people on Twitter who saw that tweet agree with that tweet more than the people who saw the other tweet agree with that tweet. It's very important. This is how we establish rights in the 21st century. Tim Pool says, imagine being a woman not able to tell someone why you think you're a woman. And Keffals says, imagine Tim Pool getting ratioed by Keffals. And oh my God, the Tim Pool tweet has 17.3K likes, and the Keffals tweet has 17.4K likes. Absolutely ratioed. And over here, Keffals is asking Hassan, who is like the top commie Arab streamer on Twitch, saying, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you help me ratio this transphobic pundit? So he's calling all hands on decks. We gotta fucking ratio these people. We gotta prove to them that trans women are women by getting more likes on Twitter. That's literally exactly what they're saying. And this is a studied phenomenon. I have found this in my research of the ratio in preparation for this stream, that the data for progress says new waves in the study of the worst takes online. As a very serious think tank, we at Data for Progress spend a lot of time thinking about Twitter. While only a small fraction of the U.S. population is on Twitter, nearly every major political figure uses it as a means of interacting with constituents and media. But not all tweets are created equal. Some are good and some are very, very bad. Terrible, horrible, no good. very bad tweets, which is, of course, a Trump reference. And it explains what a ratio is. And to show you what a ratio is, here's an example, unrelated to the Keffals stream, but just an example. Many years ago, in the far-off year of 2017, United Airlines had a big oopsie where they sold more tickets for their plane than they had seats, which is common practice for airlines because they're scum of the fucking earth. United Airlines had an issue where they had too many people actually show up to the gate to take their seats. And one of the people in their seats who did not have a ticket that allowed them to stay on board in the event that the plane was overfilled was an Asian man who did not know English. So United Airlines physically removed this man from their airplane, beat the fuck out of him, and threw them out into the airport terminal. This was all recorded. It went national, international outrage mob clickbait story. Asian men fucking physically removed from an airplane. And United Airlines put out this tweet saying, "We're sorry that this happened, blah, blah, blah." The ratio is down here. You can summarize this into kind of like two categories: good and positive interactions. A retweet is positive. A like is positive. A quote retweet with a negative comment would be negative, or with negative or positive, depending on the comment. And then a reply is also the same. But in instances like this, and I'm sorry I'm explaining this like you're fucking retarded, but I just want to point this out because it is strange to me, and I feel like it is worth pointing out that the ratio here is that enough people replied to this many times more than people who liked it. So the consensus is that this was a bad tweet. This apology was not sufficient. They're not on your side, not accepted, yada yada. So to rewind it, this is what Keffals thinks a ratio is. And I know it sounds like a weird thing to be nitpicky about. Like, who cares, right? Like, who gives a fuck that he's not ratioing correctly? The reason why it's significant is that you can't ratio people like that. All he's saying is like my tweet. Each one of these is just like my tweet, promote my tweet, get my tweet out there. I want as many people to see my tweet as possible, interact with my content more. That's all he's doing. It's not like a ratio is just something that you observe. Like, oh, most people who saw this tweet replied to it instead of liking it because they thought they wanted to yell at United Airlines. What the fuck does this mean? It means that Keffals got a bunch of retards to like their tweet. That's it. That's all it means. And the reason why they do this is because the more tweets they get, the more followers they get, the more cat boys and the cat boy ranch they get. That's the entire point. It's like the petroleum industry. You have an oil well digging up oil. What happens to the oil? It becomes gasoline. It becomes byproduct. It becomes plastic. It turns into a bunch of shit. And this attention turns into money, and it turns into cat boys. It has nothing to do with negatively impacting the accounts of these conservative media pundits, but that's what they sell it as to their idiot fans. Help me ratio this guy to show them that the transphobia is not accepted. But it's really, help me get more fucking money, you idiots. Kind of like the findom shit we just watched. Like, you don't deserve it, you fucking morons. Give me your fucking money. Drainage, my boy. Drainage, exactly. So I just wanted to point that out because it does frustrate me a little bit. Now, the ratio, while also the source of, like an oil well fire, when it catches fire and now the sky is full of fiery smoke, the ratio was the source of Keffals' power and self-serving insanity, but also their downfall. Because once they had gotten so much attention, they then went to Twitter with a sort of sense of impunity and said, "Hey, Steven," referring to Stephen Bunnell or Destiny, and said, "Hey, Steven, I just took away your primary source of income. Please leave me alone and stop bullying trans people for content." His followers are going to get mad, so I'm going to clarify now that I didn't report anything myself, and he did this himself. So I took away your primary source of income, followed by, I did not report anything, and he did this himself. I don't think that you're telling the truth in the second tweet. I think that you reported him, and I can confirm this because he says here, actually in the next one, but he says Destiny's ban is indefinite, best gift ever. So very happy that Destiny has been removed from Twitch. And then after the outrage starts, he again clarifies, Destiny has made 41% jokes towards me, accused me of being a rapist, and now accuses me of being a pedophile, and is now actively mocking me for being a childhood grooming victim. I do not regret at all my role in getting him deplatformed from Twitch because he deserved worse. So he lied here when he says I didn't report him or anything, but then says, I now do not regret my role in getting him to platform. So dude just fucking straight up lies constantly. Like it's like with the Communist Party. He lies about his what happened after the fact almost every time he gets called out on something. And there's another instance of that I will point out. He continues. He says he wants to appeal his ban decision. I don't think he understands that I am friends with people on Twitch staff, and they are watching him as he does things. He took the opportunity of getting banned to go mask off, but he's not going to be able to put it back on. And so, he's Keffals trying to again just rub the salt in Destiny's wound. Says this.
Oh yeah, meanwhile he stealths people, which is legitimately a form of rape.
Dot. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm mostly reading tweets here and not playing any clips from his fucking stream, it's because Keffals' stream is dead air. It is like 90% just AGP smirk, no fucking content, mumbling at the microphone intermittently.
Insane shit.
It's still going, by the way. I'm drinking water right now. He's just staring at chat, going, oh. That AGP smirk, that HRT brain, just seeing the little wheel in his head rotating around.
Isn't that what? Wait, I don't know if he did it. Wait, backing up, I don't actually know if he did it, but he argued that it is not a form of rape, and that you shouldn't have sex with a woman who isn't mature enough to tell that someone would do that to them. So like literally.
So he says Destiny is a rapist because he stealths, which if you don't know, is when you take off your condom without informing your partner that you're taking up your condom, either because you find that, like exciting, or you want to get them pregnant without them knowing it, or whatever, you have AIDS and you want to share it, which is the thing people do. It's generally like a really shitty thing to do. Considering that Destiny is friends with two pedophiles, Mr. Girl, aka Max Carson, and Vito the Pedo, I would not put it past him. In fact, he's made hey Keffals, if you're watching this, by the way, you need to bring up the fact that Destiny is friends with two people who are admitted pedophiles. His protege is Max Carson, who is singing a song called "I Am a Pedophile." I don't know why the fuck he doesn't bring this up more often. He should. But he says, okay, Destiny is okay with stealthing, and then immediately walks that back because he doesn't know if it's actually true or not. And then, speaking of stealthing, Keffals says, trans women don't have to disclose they are trans before having sex with straight men because they are women. I have hooked up with straight guys and not disclosed that I was trans. I'm not going to apologize for that. It makes about as much sense as having to disclose you're diabetic before having sex with somebody. Keffals says, true, I have hooked up with cis men without disclosing. The real crime is that they are so bad at sex, I exclusively date women by choice now. Okay, so stealthing bad, but stealthing good. Whatever. Everything makes sense in the head of the sex pest when it benefits them and gets them off, I guess. Speaking of getting them off, I would like to actually tell you what it is about Destiny that makes the Keffals so angry. Why do you think Destiny makes Keffals so angry? What could Destiny do to the queen of ratios to upset them? Well, as he says here, he mocked my friend's suicide attempt and called another one of my friends a pedophile. I'm not losing sleep over this. To which Chloe, check bio for HRT info, says, at Bob Posting, true. Chloe, check bio for HRT info at Bob Posting, also says, he also doubled down on calling me a pedophile 2 days ago on stream. Lamau. Who is this Bob Posting who is being called a pedophile and that Keffals is very upset about being defamed? Well, we have here a tweet from Destiny saying, yikes, Bob Posting is an actual pedophile. Be careful, kids. And this is Bob Posting as Chloe saying, also, I got like 500 plus minors on HRT, not 7. Get it right, Steven. And this is in response to Steven saying on stream while playing League of Legends that Bob Posting got 7 kids on HRT before they were adults. Bob Posting clarifies that he's actually gotten 500 plus kids on HRT, not 7. And that is why Destiny called Bob posting, quote unquote, an actual pedophile and warned the children to stay away from Bob posting. Chloe says, and this is March, or the end of March 2021, I have unironically pink pilled like half a dozen minors, and by pink pill I mean point them to HRT resources after they reach out, and then there's a Pepe sweating because he accidentally said the quiet part out loud. Hyphen Hate Group says, I can't do stuff that isn't prescription because I can't buy anything without my parents' consent. And Clover replies, I mean only if they find out, smirking cow emoji. So here's some more content from Bob Posting's Twitter. They also go by Miss Voice Training. Rex or Rox or something says, I just got triple digit number of people to access to necessarily medical care last weekend. Miss Bob Posting says, this is just true though. Rox says, I was supposed to say something like, I groomed a Discord full of minors into being trans and sold them bathtub estrogen laced with meth. And Bob Posting says, this is also true. Bob Posting posts a bunch of pictures of injectable little, like, you know, it's like a, with the vaccines in, it's like a vial that has a pierceable plastic lid that you can put a syringe through. Post a bunch of them, and they are all bathtub estrogen, according to him, bathtub estrogen collage with a bunch of different vials of this injectable HRT. Bob Posting says, quote, you mean you inject cooked estrogen cooked up in some depressed trans girl's bathtub directly into your carotid artery every other day? Yes, Bob Posting says. Keffals says, thinking about that time Bob Posting was chopping jalapenos and forgot to wash her hands and then started fingering me. Death emoji. So Bob Posting and Keffals are in a direct relationship. This person who is sending vials of injectable HRT to children across the world, allegedly hundreds of them, is in a physical relationship with Keffals, and that's why Destiny is so hated by them, because Destiny pointed out the fact that Bob Posting is a groomer, an actual literal groomer, and Keffals takes offense to that accusation. Because Keffals also does it. Keffals says, I am proud to announce I am sponsoring the DIY HRT directory. Healthcare is a human right, and no one should be denied gender-affirming care because anti-trans extremists in office deny trans people their rights. This directory has saved lives and will continue to do so in the future. The only thing that Keffals has ever been consistent in politically is that children should have access to HRT. Between everything that I've seen from the Communist Party takes and what I've heard on Twitter and their backtracking on Twitch streams and blah, 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 the only thing I have ever seen this person say consistently in plain language that anyone can easily understand is that teenage boys should be allowed to buy estrogen on the internet from strangers who brewed it illegally in their bathtub and inject it into their carotid artery every day. Nothing else is even close to as lucid as that perspective. They, to that end, their greatest accomplishment that they will always bring up in their defense is the time that they raised $250,000 for the Equality Texas Foundation. This was a Twitch campaign where donations went to Equality Texas, and Equality Texas is a resource for it's a trans youth organization. Resources for parents of Texas trans youth, the facts of trans affirming healthcare in Texas, and how you can support trans youth. And it's basically a bunch of fucking weirdos in Texas who are trying to get these bathtub estrogens into the veins of young boys in Texas, which he proudly reiterates over and over again whenever possible that he raised $250,000 for. And yes, I'm aware that this says 50,000. I think that the story is that he used several different crowdfunding platforms, and they add up to $250,000. So it's not just Tiltify; it's several different platforms. And I'll trust his word on that. I haven't seen. I was concerned that maybe he didn't actually donate this money, but it does go to a fundraiser here. So I'm not entirely sure. There is some dispute. I've heard that he also was kicked out of the Communist Party for embezzling. I'm not too sure about that either. There's a rumor that he took the money, but I haven't seen anything to really verify that. He did say on Twitter that the money went to getting HRT to kids in Texas, but the organization is doing that, so it doesn't necessarily have to be him that's doing that. And by the way, update from Chloe, as of June 2022, 1,000 minors on HRT. This is Chloe, HRT info in bio at Bob Posting. And proudly announcing to the world that he personally has hooked up 1,000 minor children with estrogen that he has created in his house. So very, very interesting times that we live in. Discord, of course, all this happens on Discord, on Capley Ranch servers and secret rooms and Twitch streamers chats. And Destiny daring to call this person a pedophile for what they do, which I believe is an accurate label, is what has given Keffals the crusade against him and taken away his primary resource of income. He dared to say that this behavior was unacceptable, and that is why he's no longer allowed on Twitch. Not for hosting fucking weirdos like Max Carson or Vito. It's for denouncing a fucking weirdo who is getting children on prescription medication that he cooked himself and sold to them on Discord without anybody's consent except his own. Fascinating, chat. Really fascinating. And we move on to the this is immediately after the Destiny stuff, where now he has gotten some serious attention because Destiny's a big deal, and when he's taking credit and openly boasting about taking somebody's money, it pisses off a lot of people. In response to the "I just took away your primary source of income" tweet, Lauren Southern, sorry, I always call her Laura Southern, which I think is a better name, but it's Lauren Southern, says, "Trans advocates censoring and destroying the income of people who slightly disagree with them. Wow, this sure makes me love the online trans community more. Wonderful activism, upside down smiley emoji." To which Keffals replies, "I have always wanted to ratio Lauren Southern." Big brain. Now this is Lauren Southern. She is a real woman. Now you can only imagine what Keffals is angry about when he sees a real woman and has to compare it with himself. Keffals tweets soon after this, "How I wake up knowing my enemies are ontologically evil and there is no act against them which is wrong. Literally defending a neo-Nazi right now who called me a man and calling me a mentally ill at the same time." Well, you are a man and you are mentally ill, so she's not wrong to defend that. Demon Mama is, I think, retweeted by Keffals for saying, "Keffals is more of a woman than you'll ever be. I think it was you who said a woman loses their value as they get older. Time is ticking for you, Lauren. You know you don't live up to your own standards." And then there's a meme of a danger hair saying "no eggs" with a frowny face. So again, when Nick Fuentes is doing the whole empty egg carton shtick, he sounds exactly like Demon Mama on fucking Twitter. Lauren Southern replies to the ratio tweet saying, "Ratios won't make you a woman," smiley face. And that is the end of the exchange as far as I'm aware. Now, if you don't know, by the way, Lauren Southern is a married woman who has children, and Keffals is a castrate who grooms children on Discord, in case you're curious what the distinction is between the two of them. Melina is Destiny's wife, current wife or girlfriend. Keffals says on Twitter, "So instead of and this is in regards to Melina, so instead of apologizing to me for liking a tweet by a white supremacist who said I'll never be a woman," and this is Lauren Southern, that he's calling a white supremacist, who said I'll never be a woman, your response is to call me a pathetic piece of shit and a fucking loser. I've never seen a more bad faith actor in my entire life. Melina, again, Destiny's girlfriend, says, "I'm supposed to apologize for liking a tweet when you're the one person who removed my husband's income. Do you even know what it's like to have a real problem?" Keffals replies, "Your husband got banned on Twitch for transphobia, and now you are refusing to back down from a position of liking transphobic tweets by white supremacists that are directed towards me. How have you not learned anything from this? How have you not learned anything? Shouldn't you have learned, paypig? Do you not see my kukri? Do you not see that I have in my pocket the Twitch community? I banned you, and yet you haven't changed your opinion. I've taken money from you, and yet you're not on my side, groveling for my forgiveness. How is this possible?" Melina. Melina replies, "How do I communicate with someone so far from reality? Please, someone help." Keffals replies, "Please shut the fuck up," after an exchange, and Melina says, "Got him." And Keffals finishes the discussion by saying, by blocking Melina, and Melina says, "And we're back." In case you're wondering, this is Melina, also a real woman. Also, well, I don't think she has kids, but she does have eggs. And from what I understand with her relationship with Destiny, she gets the BBC whenever she wants. And it's actually straight men who consent to the relationship, as opposed to Keffals who have to lie to get drunk people to fuck them under false pretenses. Okay, again, let's just get a nice lineup here. Lauren Southern, wife, mother. Melina, wife, BBC. Keffals. Lauren Southern, Melina, Keffals. Is there a difference between the three of them? I think that it's very, very apparent why Keffals is so angry when these fucking old hags with their empty egg cartons dare to say, no, go fuck yourself. They should not have the right to do so. And on that note, I'm going to take a quick break, and don't you worry, I have something lined up to fill the dead air, and I will be right back.
Oh, Stephen, what a fucking fool. You say that you're a woman, but you're a woman hating tool. Oh, Tony, your come over's not so cool. Photoshopping your pictures while you bitch and puke. Will never, never make you be a woman. It doesn't work that way. Biology's transphobic. No matter what you say, you will never, never be a woman. Though you claim you are, your man feels are so fragile. You want them to belong. Well, Stephanie, you can take a woman's name, but you'll always know you're not one. Sex just stays the same. So you will never ever be a woman, no matter who you sue. You'll live and die a man. Sure sucks to be you. You'll live and die a man. Sure sucks to be you.
Bravo, bravo. Just in the nick of time. Got myself new water. All refreshed. Even got my boomer juice. Perfect chat. We are definitely towards the end of the Keffals saga. Because now, unfortunately, the king of lies, the custodian of records, the operator, the tar baby of the internet, the final boss of transphobes is here to ruin everything. How the fuck do I? Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have an inception moment here. We have a mati-ception, which I have prepared so that you can tell the inception's about to happen. Get ready. The most interesting thing about this whole thing is the person taking credit for getting Destiny banned is this guy named Keffals, who is a Tim, and Keffals says, like this tweet, if you actually think trans women are women, let's prove her wrong. Keffals, he says in reply, I need all hands on deck. I've never attempted a 30K plus like ratio, but in particular, hey, Steven, referring to Destiny, I just took away your primary source of income. Please leave me alone and stop bullying trans people for content. Thousands of likes. His followers are going to get mad, so I'm going to clarify now that I didn't report anything, and he did this to himself. They had like a little feud, and apparently Destiny is now a turf, but this fucking guy is insane about ratios. 1.7k likes in 13 minutes. We are attempting to ratio a 30k tweet from a notable turf. Let's show them they are a minority on this website. Get in on this. Destiny inspired me to take a more critical stance toward the world to make it a better place. Now that he's gone, there will be one fewer voice on Twitch standing against the crazies. What? So now he's saying that he didn't want to get Destiny banned. And just like all the other attention whore types, instead of admitting your mistake, you'll whine and cry about how unfair and unbigoted everyone is. This Twitter has fucked this person so bad they've cut off their dick, and now we're obsessed with the ratioing, and they have Justin Wang as their Twitter profile, and this is their life. This is what they wake up to do, is to stream on Twitch and ratio people. And that's like their power. I bet you they jerk off to it too. Oh yeah, I ratioed Laura Southern. She fucking deserved it. The bitch. That's it. That's all I said. I covered the Destiny fiasco. I read some tweets. I made an inference about their obsession with the ratio. And Keffals did not take that too kindly and said, just found out that the person who runs a website notorious for doxing and harassing trans people covered me on his podcast today. If you stand by my earlier statements about protecting trans content creators... Sorry, I just knocked over a bunch of shit on the floor. If you stand by my earlier statements about protecting trans content creators from getting harassed off the internet, your support would mean a lot. I have done nothing wrong, nor will I be going anywhere. I stand by my convictions and know my community loves me, and I love them too. He continues, I know people who have been driven to take their own life by these types of people. I'll be taking any precautions needed. What a fucking week. I get associated with both Destiny and Lauren Southern banned on Twitch, and now the final boss of transphobes is trying to coordinate attacks on me. When you do the right thing, you make the right enemies. Since this tweet, the weird ass transphobe, I mean, God, everything. Nobody knew anything about Keffals until after this tweet, because then people were like, oh, let's look into it. And thus the OP was born, and people did digging. And it turns out that Keffals, despite claiming that he was completely ready for anything that anyone could throw at him, had everyone in his family private their Facebook accounts because there was shit like the Facebook post that I showed before. He deleted his TikTok, which had all that cringe-inducing misogynistic shit on it. He forgot apparently that he did Canadian T-girl porn, and then also was Queen Clara, the findom dominatrix turned Twitch groomer, and all this shit came out afterwards. And now it's like, okay, so you did all this really insidious shit where you are in a physical relationship with someone who is just an open groomer, who is sending drugs to children, and you're in a relationship with them, and you have a Catboy ranch. And you do the same shit, and you want, and that's like your whole purpose. It's like your whole reason d'entente. Is that how you say that? Probably not. But your reason for existence is just to get HRT into kids. I'm sure me even saying that, it's just like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And apparently he didn't think that any negative consequence would come as a result of that. And since this happened, and I'm not trying to take credit for it, it's just that the reason why people really hate my fucking website is not because it's evil. It doesn't do anything wrong. It's not malicious. It doesn't swat people. It doesn't hurt people. But when all your mistakes are compiled together in a legible, Wikipedia style format where someone can look up like, oh, this person is a threat to kids, it causes you long-term problems. For instance, shit like this doesn't help either. After the thread goes up, they lose their power of ratio. In February, the leak happened with Roe v. Wade being overturned before the official opinion was released. And SCOTUS blog says it's impossible to overstate the earthquake that this will cause inside the court. In terms of the destruction of trust among the justices and staff, this leak is the gravest, most unforgivable sin. And of course, the point is not that the decision was right or whatever. That's not the opinion they're giving. It's just that it's very unusual for a Supreme Court leak to happen. So that it happened is a big deal. And Keffals says in reply, while everyone is freaking out about abortion rights, I have always wanted to ratio SCOTUS blog. And the magic was gone. 18,000 tweets from SCOTUS blog. Only 1,000 likes, 1,000 likes from Keffals. And the reaction from people who are now suddenly concerned about this upcoming court decision started replying, fake woman's fakeness makes her unable to grasp the severity of the threat to real women. Ratio me, I don't give a fuck. Your masculinity comes right out in your desire to joke about the end of women's rights, just like it does when you love video games or anime or other guy things too much, which sounds like a woman wrote that. 4-star generalized anxiety disorder. That's a very war crime. That's a very in-betweeny. I would say that's a woman that wrote that, though. City of Freaks says in reply, this is literally the behavior of someone who has severe brain damage from a mortar exploding over their head in wartime, making them unable to process human emotions, beyond parody, indescribably devoted to clout, genuinely disgusting. That's a fantastic little tweet. More replies, even from the anime avatars, and the furries are jumping in now. Venja Bitch says, the Vouch collaborator has logged on, ready to change the world by getting the more people to sub to her Twitch channel. This isn't fucking funny or a meme or a joke. Shut the fuck up. From Olive, 13 days until B-Day, King Crimson with an Algerian flag and a lesbian icon in their name, which is just a bizarre combination of things. Fefio Swag says, shut the fuck up. Ashley at Pussy Hitler. Pussy Hitler. Pivoting from mildly annoyed by Keffals to hating Keffals. And Bert Samuel Imart says, so cringe. And it continues. The only opinion I'm going to express, and this is from Neon Hamburger Fantasy at Bird Respecter, the only opinion I'm going to express about this is that I like Keffals, but I also feel that 99% of the jokes after genuinely bad things can wait until this is not a 1% joke. I don't know. Vermilion World says, I literally hate this person so much. Nick says, hey, Keffals, maybe not the time, smiley face. And his name is Nick Smiley Face at Nick's Smiley Face. And then he replies with the smiley face. Very consistent. Alana Heim, you will always be famous. Genius of Love says, very famous, very funny and appropriate for this moment. Haha, wow. Crosswords, lesbian emoji. Butch Pussy replies, maybe that's not how, maybe, consider that maybe now is not the time for epic ponage. And Dome Triller of Puzzle Cat People, Cat Do Nose Ring says, Twitter users crazy. She's just like, how can I get this to be about clout? Now, Keffals has a serious issue here. He is being ratioed. This is unacceptable. In the world of Keffals, being ratioed by the Supreme Court of the United States, or rather the SCOTUS blog, which is affiliated with the court, says, I was far from the only person to clown on the SCOTUS blog tweet. I don't get the issue. No one got this heated when I ratioed J.K. Rowling. Is transphobia less serious than women's reproductive health? Yes. Are people mad because they view me as less than a woman? Yes. Also, what is with people who are seeing this news and deciding that it's more important to focus on me rather than what's going on? Second time, I pointed this out the first time. Anytime that the heat comes on him, he says, wait a minute, guys, why don't we focus on the serious issues at hand? I don't know, because you made it about yourself, retard, dum-dum. If you didn't do that, people wouldn't be talking about you at all, you stupid fuck. If you didn't intentionally try to get attention, nobody would even notice you, dumbass. What's with people? Like, for real, how do you... Oh, no, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, here again, to cause me discomfort. Well, chat. Muhammad, Marge Bar America says, masterclass levels of making everything about yourself. And Keffals replies, can you focus on the actual issue instead of the Twitter drama farming, please? And then also we find a way to fit J.K. Rowling back into this. She hasn't tweeted about Roe v. Wade, but has time. She lives in the UK. She is not American. You are Canadian. Who gives a... Why do you have an opinion on this? You don't fucking count. You're a man, number one, and you're Canadian, and she's from the UK. Neither of you have any dog in this fight, and it's very bizarre, okay? She hasn't tweeted about Roe v. Wade, but has time to make an attack on trans person online since the news broke it will be overturned. She is really showing how much she cares about women's rights, J.K. Rowling says in this original tweet. In my case, the answer would be yes and yes. I've always supported gay marriage, and I support women's rights to safe, legal abortion should they wish to terminate their pregnancy. I suspect most gender-critical people would answer the same way, but by all means, let journalists ask the question. What's even the fucking issue there? She knows that Roe v. Wade's an American thing. She's not like an American attorney, but she says that she supports abortion. Like, literally, what is the fucking problem? If you want to support abortion rights, she is saying that, but she doesn't have an opinion about Roe v. Wade because she's fucking English. It's so bizarre to me. You guys, if you're not American, you need to stop reading the fucking news because your opinions about this shit do not matter. My opinions do because I'm 100% hamburger underneath the flesh suit. Now, what does this get you, chat? You dedicate your life to the ratio. You live by the ratio. You die by the ratio. it gets you quite a bit. This week, actually, Taylor Lorenz, who is famous only for one reason. They work for the Washington Post as a official writer, and they doxed a woman who runs the Libs of TikTok account on Twitter, which is like a woke culture kind of like, this is the, if you're on Twitter, you're probably not a TikTok person, so check this out. Look at all the crazy shit on TikTok that kids are watching today. Taylor Lorenz doxed that person, went to her family's house, and there's like those Ring video security footage cameras of Taylor Lorenz showing up to this woman's family to ask them questions about their family member, which is just the sickest fucking thing that you could ever possibly do. And if it wasn't a journalist, they would probably be in fucking jail. Like, for all the shit that these creepy weirdos give my website for making fun of their dumbasses for the stupid shit they say online, their journalist friends actually show up at people's fucking house under the guise of journalistic responsibility and integrity to harass people into fear and submission. And that's okay. And we have national platforms owned by Jeff Bezos pushing this shit out. Really incredible. In fact, the fact that Twitch is owned by Jeff Bezos and the Washington Post is also owned by Jeff Bezos is kind of interesting now that I think about it. The trans Twitch star delivering news to a legion of LGBTQ teens. Known as Keffals, Clara Sorrente's streams are one of the few spaces in media where people can hear the news from a trans person. Wow, isn't that just exciting? Look at this You know what's really funny about the castrates is that they all get fat. Once you can't have sex anymore and you don't have kids, you just become a big chungus. You start eating. Look how big those hands are, too. Damn. Got some fucking meaty hands. You could probably wrap that around somebody's neck. For over a year after she first joined Twitch, Clara Sorrente used the streaming platform like most of its users to broadcast herself playing video games for a handful of viewers. But when Greg Abbott, the Republican governor of Texas, launched a campaign against gender-affirming care for young people, it struck a nerve with Sorrente, who transitioned as a teenager. The 28-year-old took to Twitch, talking openly about her experience in hours-long streams. And he's not kidding. Those streams are 3 to 6 fucking hours each, every day. Now Sorrente is one of the most popular openly trans streamers on Twitch, amassing over 3,000 subscribers as of May, who pay $5 a month, so $1,500, and then I guess Amazon takes a third of that, so $10,000 just in fucking Twitch income to support her streams. She is a new class of stars who have abandoned the platform's traditional game stream format to talk about news and politics. This cohort of creators who have embraced the just chatting category have emerged as pundits for a generation disconnected from cable news. In the third quarter of 2020, just chatting became Twitch's most watched category of now accounts for 13% of content watched on the app, according to Streamlabs, a live streaming software company. As Keffals, Sorrente is a rarity on Twitch, a place known for its combative community of male gamers and the rapid-fire abuse often lobbed between streamers as a wave of anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ legislation has swept the country. Her stream is one of the few outlets where viewers can hear the news from a trans person. When I came out as trans, there was no high-profile trans figures in the media at all, Sorrente said. I think it's important for there to be high-profile trans figures in the content creator world because that's where young people are looking for news and information. Everything is just, I gotta get this fucking HRT into the kids. That is what matters. That's what's important to me. Hosting from a spare setup in London, Ontario, she narrates her shows in a trademark sarcastic deadpan, full of dead air. Forgot to mention that part. Sorrente curses frequently, sighs often, but rarely yells as she reads from the tweets and articles online. She breaks down the laws and political news for an audience she describes as primarily LGBTQ teenagers, frequently using the pronoun we to describe herself, her viewers, and the trans community. Describing an Alabama law making it a felony to provide gender-affirming care for those under 18, she slumped in her office chair and stared towards the camera. They literally want these kids to fucking kill themselves, she said. I don't know what a future looks like. A flood of messages came in response. So whack. And I'm heartbroken, her fans wrote. She celebrated a federal judge striking down a Tennessee law that required businesses to post warning signs that they presented a Tennessee law that required businesses to post warning signs if they permit transgender people to use the preferred bathroom, and railed against Ohio potentially reviving a bill banning gender-affirming cares for under 18s, even with parental consent. She intersperses the news with updates about her personal life and offbeat interludes, like riff on the release of Lego Star Wars video games or Elon Musk taking over Twitter. How much longer is this? Holy fuck. I'm not reading all this. You can see the room, big meaty man hands. Oh, she has that Stream Deck thing. I want one of those one day. Yep, I'm not reading all this. Fuck that. Oh, and they know Chelsea Manning. Chelsea Manning is... Keffals said in like a couple clips that they they know Chelsea Manning, and there's like a high-profile trans Discord that he posts in. So on top of the attention, as I mentioned, Keffals has about 3,000 followers, given at least $5 a month. 36,000 followers in total. That includes the ones who don't pay. And I'm just going to show you like what their fucking content looks like. Hold up. There's a chance that they're actually going to be like, what is this? Like in the recent one where they're talking about bullshit. Here, Ropocalypse. I'll just click at any point.
Outrage or pushing them. 6/24/22. My Joker arc begins. I mean, I don't blame you at all.
Look at how weird their cleavage is. See how that triangle? It's so unnatural looking because it's not like real.
Okay. All right.
And this is it.
So you can blow up my... That is the horniest thing I have ever seen.
Ew. Yeah, it looks drawn on even.
If anyone has anything else related, I think we covered all the Roe v. Wade stuff. Keffals learns to jump. Thousands celebrate across the world. Bokoblins face weapon shortage. Matters names.
He has like a R. Keffals Reddit group
easy.
for fan posts and shit. And then just reads them. And he plays Legend of Zelda. Hell yeah. And thousands of trans children watch this. They get when they're zonked out on their HRT brain, AGP smirking at the
shrine nearby,
smoking weed, being like, "Yeah, I'm a woman now. I feel so gender euphoric." On top of that, by the way, these wiggle things are fucking creepy as shit. It's probably like the dead. It looks like they have 4 eyeballs, like a spider or something. It's part of the reason. They get 1,000, over 1,000 years a month just from that. So it's like literally thousands and thousands of dollars from teenagers. And now they're trying to segue over to YouTube. They want to become one of those breadtube people because that's the real money. You want to talk about paypigs? You have the paypigs on Twitch. You have the paypigs on Patreon. But the real paypigs come with the gold play button. When you have 1 million subscribers and you have AdSense and you have, a CPC ratio and stuff, that is the money. So he even says in his Twitch stream that I was listening to, because he got banned from Twitch, I was listening to that. He said that he intentionally fucks with the audio of his archives on Twitch so that people will watch the archives on YouTube instead, which is very interesting. So that's why they have so many more subscribers here, even though they don't get any views. Their goal is to basically become like a high-profile trans YouTube person with thousands of subscribers and shit. That's their ambition. However, chat, their ambition has been cut short. This would be where the stream ends ordinarily in a normal discussion in an ordinary timeline. This is where the stream kind of peters off, and I get to the moral of the story, Jerry Springer style. But something happened yesterday, which is interesting. They were banned from Twitter, and suddenly the whole cacophony of the Twitter teenage boy to Catboy Ranch pipeline has been shut down. No more of the ratios bringing in the views to the Twitch channel and to the YouTube channel. No more Catboys to the ranch straight from the source, from Twitter. They have to find alternative ways, and now there are, of course, people actively hunting down alt accounts to get them banned. And they've already had alt accounts banned. They said they're trying to appeal, but because they've already had their alt accounts banned, that doesn't look good for them. And it leaves me in a predicament, chat, because of course, anytime a retard like this gets banned from Twitch or from Twitter or from YouTube or whatever the fuck, and people laugh at them because they're deplatforming cunts, as Keffals demonstrably is, they immediately shoot back by saying, I thought conservatives were against deplatforming. It just goes to show you that they're celebrating this because they have no morals. And the funny thing is, and it doesn't even need to be pointed out, but the funny thing is that when somebody who is that much of a smug, AGP, smirking cunt, stuck up their own asshole, obnoxious to the bone, always like trying to get a leg up on people for no apparent reason, other than the fact it gets them off, when they have to eat their own shit, it's funny. That is like the very definition of comedy. That is like the Greek definition of comedy, is when people get karma. Do I agree with it? Is a bit more tricky. Ordinarily, I would say no, like right off the bat. It doesn't matter who it is. I would say no. But in this particular instance, I think that Keffals is a threat to like teenage boys. I think that Keffals not being on Twitter is going to allow boys to reach adulthood without churning out that would otherwise not reach adulthood without churning out. And in that regard, I would have to say, yes, I'm happy to see them banned from Twitter, because they probably shouldn't even be a free person at this point. I think that they should be in jail for grooming minors. That's just my hot take, even though it is, I guess, a bit hypocritical. But I don't know. It's like I don't support pedophiles. I just don't. And it's hard for me to like feel bad. But no, ordinarily, if it was Vaush or whatever, who just wants to fuck horses, I guess, I don't consider that as bad. If you want to go on Twitter, like, okay, if you want to support pedophilia, I'll phrase it like this. And if Twitter was just like an adult platform and you wanted to have an adult conversation about pedophilia and how it's totally like Milo says, it depends, or I had sex as a 13-year-old and I turned out just fine, or Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad, saying it depends on the child. Well, doesn't it? Like, okay, you want to have that adult conversation, fine, whatever. Freedom of speech and all that shit shouldn't be anywhere near minors, though. And Twitter is a platform available to minors. So therefore, the creepy fucking weirdos with the bathtubs of estrogen they made themselves, which are illegal and dangerous, should not be anywhere near those kids. So considering that Twitch and Twitter are platforms that are accessible to minors, then yeah, absolutely, this fucking weirdo. And Discord, this should be kept away from them. The weirdo who runs the Catboy Ranch Discord server with the fucking Shotacon as the banner should not be having 1,000 teenage boys in his fucking Discord. It shouldn't be. But yeah, that's the gist of that. That's the hot take. And by the way, in case you're wondering what did it, what caused Twitter to have this sudden clarity in who they were supporting? Well, the answer is your mom jokes. As it turns out, you cannot threaten to rape people's mothers over and over again for years without finally getting banned for it. These are the tweets that were officially cited by Twitter as being abuse and harassment that qualified a permanent suspension. Yeah, your mom is coming to me so I can blow her back out. Just sponsored Suck My Inside Out Penis plus ratio. I peeked in your dad's asshole. I will erase your grandma's womb, which is just the classiest possible sentence to come up with. And just sponsored Suck My Inside Out Penis plus ratio again, because they retweeted it, apparently, and that got reported twice. So there you go. Twitter officially draws a line at saying you cannot rape people's grandmothers. I don't know when they learned that lesson, but they learned it. And finally, by the way, here's one more clip about the Twitter happening.
I used Twitter to organize a fundraiser where we raised $250,000 for trans charities. I used it for pushing DIY hormones. And it was the main way that I advertised my stream. So it's going to like affect my livelihood, getting permanently banned on Twitter.
the AGP smirk and optimism gone. It's not just me like speculating, oh yeah, he's gonna lose a lot because he doesn't have that following. No, he is going to lose a lot of, like I said, the whole supply chain of petroleum turning to gasoline, turning to plastics, all gone. No more catboys at the source. You gotta hunt them down manually like they did in the old days. So, that's it. I don't think I missed anything. That is the descent of how we had Lucas, the little boy, turn into Keffals, the big brain genius who threatens to rape your mother when you say that they are not a woman and will never be a woman for that matter. AGP smirk. AGP is autogenophile, which was the sexual term for someone who is aroused by seeing themselves as a woman. So before it was transgender, it was autogenophile. Like Buffalo Bill is autogenophile. And they all do this fucking thing where they smirk. They like sneer at their screen. I don't know if it's like a reflex that's developed when you shoot bathtub estrogen into your neck. I don't know where it comes from, but they all do it, and it's fucking creepy. And it looks just like the groomer meme. So, I do have super chats. However, I consider these little pieces to be a whole story. So I'm going to play a very, very good outro song for this, and then I will do the super chats. I would like you to give the outro song a listen because it is so pitch perfect to Keffals that it's fucking unreal. And then I will read the super chats. So I'll see you guys in about 4.5 minutes. Be right back.
Clothes. I wear my wife's when I go to the town. You think it's gross when I'm wearing her pantyhose. You call me sick and you call me a clown. I think I might have humans tonight that come to me cause I'm coming to you. I think I might have you for a bite. I'm gonna cook me up some He-Man stew. Cause transvestites can be cannibals too. And I'll feel better after I eat you. Cause I hate people when they're not polite. If you end up on my table then it serves you right. I was young, I wore my sister's clothes. I liked to paint my nails, and I had secrets no one knows. But now that I'm grown up, I cook dinner for my wife. I still carry my secrets along with the butcher's knife. People, cause I ain't popular. I'll eat these words tomorrow, cause I'm bipolar. It's okay to be different, unless you're all by yourself. You think you're so fucking special. I just don't understand the reason why I sin. Why can't I be a bigger man and walk away when you tear me down and make me feel like I'm worth nothing? But then again, I'm sure that you deserve what you be getting. And when I was young, I wore my sister's clothes. I liked to paint my nails and I had like being tied up. Well, I don't like being me. You're so shallow-minded, you think I'm only what you see. Take me out of the herd and put me on display in front of your friends, not knowing that this mistake could lead to your miserable end. 'Cause I'm rude, I'm ugly, I'm everything you hate, and I'm here tonight to put you on my plate. I don't care for your opinion, I don't want your point of view. Tonight I'll have a feast with compliments to you. And when I was young, I wore my sister's clothes. I liked to paint my nails and I had secrets no one knows. But now that I'm grown up, I cook dinner for my wife. I still carry my secrets along with the butcher's knife.
Hello. Oh my God, I'm still on. I have another segment, a surprise segment. Because I've been doing the super chat things. I thought, for the people streams, I will sacrifice the money for the autistic. I was gonna say autistic, but I wanted to say artistic. I said autistic, but they both work. They both work, chat. I will sacrifice the monies for the artistic and autistic integrity of my work, my proud work, and putting together these streams. We'll just chill out for a little bit. I've never done this before. Usually I just retire immediately after. So, hello chat. Let us read. There has been some stuff that has happened this week that's not related to Keffals, and now I guess we're gonna get into it. Let me open up my thingy. Should have done this while the song was playing, but I was too busy tapping my foot and enjoying the music. I heard that song literally like last week because I've been listening to alt country, which sounds cringe, but it's really good. And that song played, and I listen to a lot of music, and when I hear a song that I know I'm going to use on the stream, I get so fucking excited. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. This is perfect. I have to find a song, find a person to stick this song to, because it definitely works for somebody out there. Okay, not that many super chats. They didn't show up on stream. We'll be done. We'll be in and out of this in no time, chat. Don't you worry. I'll get my thing over so I can see the chat. Anonymous for 10 says, all modern entertainment is crap, but at least I have Noel's podcast looking to. Also, I'm not holding out for hope, but another silver coin run one day would be awesome. Maybe one day I'm going to do patches. I got a 3PL, so we're going to do fucking patches soon, I promise. Abominable Homan says, for 20, hey Josh, if you are into alternative country, you should look up the Dark Country compilation albums on YouTube. Also check out the Center Songbook album. Should be on YouTube as well. I think I might. Thank you. Evil Sponge for 5 says, first need of the month. Thank you. Israel Lover 1234 for 10 says, Nick Gurr. Thank you. I like Josh for $1 says, Josh has monkeypox. I hope not. Oh, you get monkeypox from that psycho bitch he was with that fucks teenage boys. Cure Yuma for 50 says nothing. Thank you. Cameron Thomas for 10 says, thanks for the stream. Please play this song in celebration of Molestation Month being over. Let's see what it is. I'll play a little bit of it.
Kill that faggot. What? Kill that faggot. What? Kill that faggot. What?
That reminds me, I got a DMCA once from Universal because I played DMX, Where the Hood At, for the intro of one of my streams. And that has some of the best homophobic lyricism ever made by anybody, white or black. It's just art. KF Roxanne Wolf for 10 says, Bark Bark, please thank the wonderful people of Serbia for making quality PPU ammo. Also, Noggers don't use Brave. Don't be a Nogger and use Brave so Glorious Leader can buy Chink Wife. Love you, Josh. Thank you, Roxanne. And yes, do use Brave. It's based. Even though Bat has tanked, I still like my stinky bats. Medicare Fembot for $100 says, love the person streams though. To be honest, was expecting some commentary on Jimbo getting swatted. Also, your tip link broken in the YouTube description, maybe a comma. That would explain the reduction in tips. It's just tip.mati.live. As far as Jim getting swatted, I heard about it and it sucks. Like I said, well, I didn't say this on stream, but I think that swatting is attempted murder because in the U.S. cops are ready to be shot at, so they kill animals, they kill people, and there is one guy who has been swatting everybody. I think I'm not going to speculate on who it is or what group they're a part of because it's not. I really don't know, but I know it's probably one person, and I know the police are looking after him, and they're very pissed off, and he's probably done this 100+ times, and when they find him, he's probably going to go to jail for the rest of his life, regardless of what country he's in. Anonymous for one says, every poo-poo is pee-pee time, but not every pee is poo-poo time. Ever think about that? I have, actually. Anonymous for 5 says, jokes on me watching your stream while having lunch. Yeah, that's always ill-advised, my friend. Kenny for 5 says, thank you for all the great time over the years, Jersh. You made my birthday a little better today. Well, happy birthday. Happy Canada Day. Anonymous for 1 says, I love personal streams always worth watching again in a year or two when they're not just about what recently happened. I wouldn't mind small streams about locales too, like 20 minutes. Maybe. There's a lot that I want to do though. I don't have an excuse to do smaller streams. I have other, like October is going to be loaded. Hopefully I can get through a lot of stuff. Stand Feedom Pretend says, funny you mentioned Ralph since this is probably going to be Xander in 20 years. Oh, don't say that. Don't wish that on a little baby. Hopefully he'll find a nice paternal figure to teach him about gang banging and pistol whipping and pit bulls and shit. Gaiman of Obama for 10 says, you're talking about modern commies earlier. FYI, there's a big difference between first and third world commies. Former who are out of spite and rebellion of their parents. By the way, Christian Josh. And yeah, it's true. If you're spoiled, I think those people just want free shit. Like, obviously, Keffals never worked a fucking day in their life. They just expect to be paid for. And there's a locale that do I even want to say the words? There's a locale that I might do a stream on named Shanny for Christ, who is the epitome of why we should just let worthless fucking people die. Instead of paying for their bullshit. Ludwig for 10 says, hey Jersh, believe it or not, I made a VTuber model for you when you're ready to come to the dark side. Go to hub.vroid.com and type slobby in the search bar. I would not ever do that. I don't trust that that's going to be a nice friendly dog if I do that. There is no God for $1 says, so on a lighter note, Ralph has gone from Rage Pig to Bog Hog and now Pause Pig. What will his final form be? Ralph is definitely going to die violently, probably trying to kill somebody. Gayest Furry Trash for 10 says, hey George, here's a little bit of my worthless fiat currency while it still holds some imaginary value. Thank you. I was thinking about how there's a guy who paints pictures of banks in the Federal Reserve on fire. And it's like, when I get a house, I want one of his paintings. KF Roxanne Wolf for 10 says, this is 10% gun, 20% autism, 41% concentrated power, and 5% tugboat, 50% Maddie, and 100% reason to remember the Sneed. Very well. Thank you. Perfect. Very artistic. Haxley for 2 says, hey Josh, have you ever been even as decided to use even go want to do more like things? I did once and I wouldn't recommend it. Get you into trouble these days. Lesh Papaya for 10 says, have a great weekend, Josh. Thank you. You too. Cola Dante says, Keffals' favorite meme to post on the Catboy Ranch Twitter was this fantasy about cum-jarring boys. Okay, I'm going to open this up on the browser. It is Catboy Ranch. One of the Catboys on the ranch was misbehaving really badly, so I put him in the cum barrel for 3 days. He didn't survive. We're holding a funeral for him tomorrow at 9. This has 400 likes. 400 deranged, fatherless boys saw this tweet and thought, I want to be in the tranny cum jar. That's so hot, bro. Noel's Feet for 5 says, how is the weight loss journey going? Haven't heard updates this year. I put it off for the first half of the year, and now I'm losing weight again. I am down to 112 kilograms. So I'll be under 1110 this month, hopefully. Keffals for 50 says, trans rights are human rights. Thank you, Keffals, for giving me a cut of that pie. That big, wonderful LGBTQ estrogen bathtub pie. Striga for 1 says, Josh, will you send Ralph some powdered deer cock or cockroach milk for his HIV? No, he has to deal with his pause load himself. Twinkle Tart for $100 says, another nice stream, Pussy Hitler. Thank you, Twinkle Tart. Please don't call me Pussy Hitler. That'll get me into trouble. Joe Duffy for $3 says, thanks for the stream, Josh. It's great to get a well-researched and high-energy stream after last night's low-effort boomer stream. Hope you're enjoying Ireland. Just stay away from Dublin. It's hell. Ireland's a great country. If I couldn't live in the U.S. at this point, I'd probably pick Ireland. It's just such a fucking beautiful place. IP Man for $1 says Josh is like fuck his mom lol smirk. Brilliant impression. That was a better impersonation than the Keffals guy. Mad Lad for 5 says, remember that retard flamenco was at one time months ago going to unironically pay Keffals $500 to get him to debate with one of his jabroni pals, but Keffals bailed at the last second. Bruh, you dumb. Yeah, like I was thinking about that. Like, what if like Keffals said something midstream, was like, hey, you should come debate me on my fucking. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to give you attention now that you're cut off from your dick and also your Catboy oil rig. Should I really like forward attention to your bullshit Twitch stream? Like, what if it went viral? What if something happened on that stream and then it was like Keffals trans child converter epically owns conservative neo-Nazi, and it's like then it got like a 10 million views on YouTube. It's like, I can just avoid this by not talking to deranged lunatics. Though I don't do a very good job of doing that in my day-to-day life. 5-star days with Ethan Gunt for 350 says, would you have thought the guys chopping off their dicks would split nations, corrode decency, and bring an end to life as we know it? You think they'd put themselves at a disadvantage doing that? LOL. Well, in Sodom and Gomorrah, isn't that what happened? It was just a bunch of degenerates. I mean, I can understand it, because, like, the thing about Keffals, the thing about the AGP menace in general, right, is that they are the ideal consumer. They are the perfect end product of what they would call late stage capitalism. Because you have this person who has ended, not only, he's the only child, so both of his parents, who were white, had one kid who is now non-reproductive. That entire family branch, dead, gone forever. What does Keffals do? He sits and does nothing every day, all day. But what does he actually do? He converts teenage boys to also cutting off their dicks so that they also become like him. Apparently over 1,000, and 1,000's more listen to him. He buys commercial products like fucking the bullshit that you see in his room. He takes all this money and he just puts it right back into the system, buying pharmaceuticals and getting more people into pharmaceuticals, promoting product, promoting this like, as Ted Kaczynski would say, like an over-socialized obsession with American politics that he has no influence over whatsoever, and just constantly feeds into this news cycle of bullshit happening in the U.S. that doesn't even affect him, while not paying any attention to his own country's politics or effectuating any change that actually matters to him. So he is like both simultaneously as plugged in as possible, but also so far detached from reality that he has no impact in the world around him. And he's just stuck there, absorbing income, spending income, and making more people like him so that there is a labor deficit in Canada, and then they import Asians and other immigrants to fill the labor deficit so that their society actually fucking works. And then you have a non-white country of people who are, by the way, all the like Arabs in Canada and England, they're not going to stay like super conservative Muslims and take over and make it like an Arab republic. They're going to tune out. Their kids are also going to become deranged, over-socialized dick snippers who are exactly like everybody else in that country. The difference is that you're not going to have anybody who has any association with Canadian history. You're going to have a myriad of people who don't know what their own race is. They're going to be mutts with an indeterminate genetic background, no history, no religion, no culture, and no unifying factor with their own countrymen who do nothing but get mad at the news, take HRT and other pharmaceuticals like antidepressants, and spend their money on mainstream media bullshit like Star Wars. And they will be completely and totally neutered to effectuating change against the people who have trapped them in the cycle. Keffals is the end product of this scheme to make everybody retarded enough to buy into this, but smart enough to keep society going. And that's why it's like, yeah, I can absolutely believe that's why, you know, this problem is going to destroy society. And the white pill is that, you know, people like the Amish, people like me who are going to go live in a log cabin in Montana, we're going to have 8 million white children, and we're just going to inherit the earth, and all the dick snippers can go fuck themselves, and hopefully they'll commit suicide, and everything will just be peachy keen in a couple years. Anime for 5 says, Josh, I am working on a 10-page dissertation on why Lane is a good anime to be read by you and no one else. Please, listeners, check out Masaki Yuasa's next worldwide film debut, August 12th. I don't know what the second half of that is a reference to. Lane is one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen in my entire life. I cannot even describe how bad it is. There is a couple good songs, but besides that, it's just incomprehensible bullshit. And I've seen more trannies obsessed with Lane than anybody else. Jenny for 10 says, hey Josh, now that 3PL is secured, can we see patch designs? It's in the thread. I haven't finalized them yet. I stopped looking because the 3PL shit. It was just like, I just gave up for a while. Shlomo Moneyberg Cats for 10 says, thanks for the person stream, Jersh. How will you be celebrating July 4th or Day? I will be having a big fat burger, just like God intended. And after that, I am done reading the super chats. Let's call. Actually, you know what? Don't even. Just subscribe on the Gumroad. I'm tired. I'm done. I've been playing RuneScape, old school RuneScape. I've been doing that while coding. I've been monk fishing. And sometimes I check on my bird houses and I get bird nests. And it's free money, basically. Free money. You do that. That's what I've been up to. Okay. I'm done. Let me check one more time. This is the last check. No more. Okay. I'm done. Thanks for watching. And I will see you guys Friday. Today's Friday. I'll see you guys Friday, unless I do like an emergency stream. Don't count on it, though. Okay. Thanks for watching, no matter where you watch. Probably the most viewers I've ever had for one of my streams, which is pretty exciting. And I'll see you, like I said, on Friday. Bye-bye.